So the first thing I'm going to do is, again, kind of got that pre-made out, so we're going to do a short arm, so I'll just kind of really eyeball it with this. Like that, so that's the length of my splint, theoretically. So 3 inches, so you're going to put 2 side by side. Then you're going to start to build it from there. So typically I'll put one over there. So that's now, of course, a 2-ply over there, so that'd be like the minimum. And then up to you, depending on what your situation is, how much you're going to put. I'll usually make a 4-ply, but you can make, like I said, a 10-ply if for some reason you think it needs it. So that's kind of my typical layout there. So now I'm done with the cast padding. And then I'm just going to double check and make sure this isn't too outrageous. So maybe it's a little long. I'll cut it off a little bit. And then so little things, go ahead and roll it up now so you're not rolling it up later. So that's ready. Out and ready. And then now you're just going to lay out your splinting material based on your template. So again, this you may want to cut sometimes a little bit longer or parse it out a little longer, because again, if it's too long, you can always trim it if you need to. If it's too short, there's no good way to make your splint longer. Again, customize. So I do it literally just like this on the table. You just start laying out your splint. So then, I'll be typically talking to them at this point about, maybe we're talking about restrictions, where they're allowed to take this off, all those kinds of things that you normally would do, or would just trim debris, whatever. And they're usually watching pretty closely because they're wondering what the heck it is that we're doing over here. So again, that's about 5. You can go as thick as you want, 10, 12, whatever. Okay, so now you're all done with that.
Brittany has it.
Your water
Brittany's
here?
ready in some water.
Okay.
Did you have prepared or like the last one?
We've had,
Yeah,
but I've never done this.
Yeah, and then to give credit where you do, I learned this over at Tripler. I don't know if they still do it there. That's where I learned it.
Is this
And I liked it.
reusable?
So that's the only downside about this approach is that, once you open up the
Okay,
fiberglass, it's done.
Okay.
But everything.
It still ends up being cheaper because the bulk pricing for all of this stuff beats the prefab stuff. It's probably cheaper. Only it's just messier and you need a special sink trap and all like that. It's heavy.
So the reason make that 2 side by side is so that you can fold it over like this. And this open part is on purpose because we're going to put it bring it to the edge of your table and just roll it on like a prophylactic. And so obviously the padded side is going to go up against the patient, but this part over here is nice because it seals it so it stays stuck so it doesn't kind of move around. You're just going to tuck in the edges, real simple. Like that. And I'll typically have my MA helping me, so just came out this way like that. So I mean, little things. You want to make sure that there's no wrinkles. So to the extent that the patient can tolerate it, I'll try to smoothen things out and push things down. So this part's usually pretty easy. You're just going to kind of literally like that, push it as you go. And as you practice and stuff, the proof is in the pudding when you take it off and look at your splint underneath and make sure there's no dips or wrinkles or anything like that. And depending on the fracture, that'll dictate how you position the hand, but typically it's kind of a slight cock-up position, so I'll just kind of hold them like this and use my hand as the mold like this. And just hold it again, talking about, okay, you're not allowed to take this off. I'm going to see you back next week. I'm going to do this, do that. I'm going to check x-rays. No, you're not allowed to play soccer with this on, blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. All this is going on, so it's not idle time in my mind. So at this point, it's, I think, the same as the other splint. So it just took, I don't know what that was, 5 minutes maybe, and that's me talking to you. I can move when I need to. So I think it adds 2 minutes or 3 minutes versus the rip and slap type of brace, type of splint. But again, I like that it's customizable. If there's some, for reason, I think I need extra padding at the elbow. When if I do put on a short leg splint on someone, I have the ability to put extra padding there. And again, keep it within the stockinette. So, because you can add a stockinette, and you can add padding before you put one of those on. But okay, now you're just increasing the price of that splint overall. Whereas this way I can just customize everything. How thick it's going to be, how long it's going to be, how much padding it's going to have, all that stuff. So I mean, I don't think that overall was too much longer. Again, so customization and price. And something you want to consider.
How would you do an owner gutter using this technique?
So same way, I don't do much owner gutters because by the time they make it to me, right, we're casting them, we're doing surgery. So I think the only hard part about owner gutters and rail gutters is that you need a bigger splint, right? So sometimes you got to go up to a 4.
Yeah.
So I don't even carry 4s in my office. I used to for the occasional
Right.
long leg cast in an adult, which I hardly ever do. So I just said, you know, when I have to do a big one, I'm just going to use more 3s, and I don't care. Because again, I'm trying to stay lean and mean and not have stuff that I may need once in a while. If I can compensate for it some other way, reasonably, then that's what I should do, because that keeps me fiscally lean. So I don't do many
Okay.
splints at all, actually.
Yeah.
I do way more casts. I do some braces. But there are times where I think a splint is probably better than a brace. So if I got someone where I'm trying to decide, you know, you got a called supracondylar fracture, or you got a nurse maze, or you just got a sore elbow. Well, I'm not going to put that one in a cast yet because I'm not sure. I want to make them jump through a couple of hoops before I doom them to a cast for the next 2 to 3 weeks. And I don't think an elbow brace is a good use of resources for that situation. So that one I'll put them into a posterior long arm splint, because I think that's the best, most appropriate, most cost efficient type of thing. So I do splint. It's just I do way more casting. Questions? I hope pretty simple, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I missed it. How many rolls or layers?
So I did 5, but you know.
That's kind of your minimum usually.
I think so. You know, again, you don't need to put on right to beat him up for like a 5-year-old that you're going to do a 2-inch. 5 would be plenty type of thing. But like I said, every once in a while there's some, especially for long arms, because there's such a long lever arm. I got a 16-year-old that's twice my size, and for the reason I'm going to put something on them, you know, I'm going to make it really thick. Or if they're coming in and they got a crappy one from the ER and they need surgery, I'm like, well, I don't want you to suffer with this for the next 3 days until I finally do surgery. I'll put a short leg on, and those very quickly fall apart too. So those will be like, you know, 8, 9, 10 layer thick ones sometimes. I know there's always concern about, well, how much heat does that sucker generate? I mean, I've never, knock on wood, ever burned someone with a splint or a cast, and I use hot water. For my cast because I need to move.
Fast, yeah.
And it's in the literature not to do that. But I don't know if I got lucky or what it is. I mean, people will be like, "Well, it's getting really hot," and I'm sure it does. But I've never ever come close to burning someone, so I wouldn't hesitate to put a big thick one. Put more padding if you're going, because that'll protect it. But yeah, for the long lever arm stuff, I like this approach because sometimes I think that stuff's just not strong enough.
Yeah, I don't even know how many layers.
I know, I don't.